Do angels have authority over nations? What if world events are influenced by more than politics, more than economics, more than human power? What if Scripture teaches that unseen beings stand behind nations, rulers, and empires? The Bible hints at something far bigger than we often imagine. Today we're asking a question that reshapes how we understand history, power, and God's sovereignty. Do angels have authority over nations? And if so, what does that mean for the world we live in right now? Section 1. The Bible describes more than human government. Scripture presents reality on two levels: the visible realm, the unseen realm. While humans govern visibly, the Bible repeatedly hints at spiritual administration operating behind the scenes. Earthly authority is real, but it is not ultimate. Section 2. Angels are connected to territorial realms in Scripture. Several biblical passages suggest angelic beings are associated with kingdoms, nations, territories. These beings are not independent rulers. They operate under God's permission and authority. Their role appears to involve oversight, restraint, influence, enforcement of divine order. This does not mean angels replace human leaders, but that human history unfolds within a larger spiritual framework. Section 3. Good and fallen beings are both involved. Scripture does not portray a neutral spiritual environment. There are faithful angels, rebellious fallen beings. Both interact with the affairs of nations in different ways. Faithful angels uphold God's purposes. Fallen beings seek disorder, pride, and rebellion. This explains why history often feels like a struggle between justice and corruption. Section 4. Angels do not rule independently. This is crucial. Angels do not replace God, do not override His will, do not act autonomously. All authority, heavenly and earthly, ultimately belongs to God alone. Angels exercise delegated authority, never sovereign authority. Section 5. God uses angels to execute, not decide. Angels carry out decisions, they do not make them. God determines the rise and fall of nations, the limits of power, the boundaries of history. Angels act as agents of execution, restraint, or judgment, always in obedience. This perspective changes how we see the world. It reminds us, history is not random, evil is limited, power is temporary. God is never absent. Even when nations rise and fall, God's purposes remain intact. Section 7. Believers are not called to fear spiritual powers. Scripture never calls believers to obsess over angelic authority. Instead, believers are called to trust God, remain faithful, pursue righteousness, pray for leaders, live wisely. Christ's authority surpasses every power. Visit Dodobain, Bindobe Daubobi Amber Bens, Bindobe Taf Finfises Tau Val, Bindober Kofstein, Intendum Dodambain, Endo and Kurver Stern, Din Dodob. In Dolder Sin Don Bowen, Sinden and Doben Frabe Taren Boden Doben Bowen. Section 8. Angels will not govern nations forever. In the new heavens and new earth, nations are restored, rebellion is ended, spiritual conflict ceases, angelic governance gives way to complete divine rule. God will dwell with His people directly. Section 9. What this reveals about God. This truth shows us, God's sovereignty is comprehensive, His governance is layered and ordered, nothing escapes His control, even unseen powers operate within His limits. Closing encouragement. Nations may rise, empires may fall, power may shift, but God remains enthroned. Angels may serve behind the scenes, but God alone directs history, and that means no event, no nation, and no authority exists outside His plan. You are not living in a world out of control, you are living in a world under God's rule.